Thank you for your interest in my first video about the rock concerts I attended in my youth. I'm now going to mention the concerts that I saw in 1974 and 1975. As usual, I'll start off with the name of the groups, the price of the ticket, the date, the location, and any notes. So let's get started. 1974 concerts. Stray Dog, Emerson Lake and Palmer, 550, January 24th, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. Keith Emerson had a little console that was connected to his synthesizer, and he would toss that thing around the stage. He would stab it with a dagger and stick the keys to the keyboard, and they would make a horrible continuous note. In my opinion, Emerson Lake and Palmer was the first electronic music group, and they were the first to use a synthesizer on a song, Lucky Man. Spooky Tooth, Black Sabbath, February 7th, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. This was Black Sabbath's Bloody Sabbath tour. John Martin, Yes, 650, February 11th, 1974, Alexander Memorial Coliseum. All I can remember was this was a very awesome show, and they made their album Yes songs off of this tour. Thunderhead, Brownsville Station, Johnny Winter, 750, March 4th, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. This was Johnny Winter's Saint and Sinner tour. Turkey Buzzard, Savoy Brown, Deep Purple, 750, March 11th, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. Montrose, Spooky Tooth, Humble Pie, $6.50, March 18th, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. Maggie Bell, Frampton's Camel, Foghat, $5.50, March 27th, 1974, Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. King Crimson, $6.50, April 13th, 1974, Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. I do not recall who was the opening act for King Crimson. Hydra, Manfred Mann, Blue Oyster Cult, 550, May 4th, 1974, Alexander Memorial Coliseum. Renaissance, Procol Harum, $3.50, May 8th, 1974, Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. Warm, Argent, 10 years after, $6.50, May 22nd, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. As I mentioned earlier, 10 years after was my favorite band. I saw them numerous times. Grinder Switch, Marshall Tucker Band, Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers Band, $7, June 1st, 1974. I remember this was a Saturday. It was at Fulton County Stadium. It was an awesome concert. If you like Southern rock and roll, this was the concert to go to. Manfred Mann's Earth Band, Uriah Heep, July 7th, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. Ross, Eric Clapton, $6, August 1st, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. Eric's special guests were Keith Moon and Pete Townsend from The Who, and they performed with Eric Clapton. Duke Williams Experience, Mountain, August 23rd, 1974. This happened at the Fox Theater, which was the best venue for a rock concert. The acoustics are incredible in that old movie theater. This was a midnight show. Atlanta Rhythm Section, ZZ Top, 650, August 30th, 1974, the Omni Sports Arena. Hydra, Leonard Skinner, 550, September 20th, 1974, Alexander Municipal Auditorium. Charlie Daniels Band, Bob Seger Silver Bullet, Bachman Turner Overdrive, October 8th, 1974. This was at the Fox Theater as well. The acoustics are incredible at that place. This was a high school field trip for the distributive education class. Boyer and Talton Cowboy Marshall Tucker Band, 550, October 11th, 1974. This was a midnight show, and the special guest was Greg Allman, and he performed with Marshall Tucker Band. This also was at the Fox Theater. Little Feat, Traffic, October 16th, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. Hall & Oates, Lou Reed, $4.50, November 7th, 1974, Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. This was Lou Reed's Sally Can't Dance Tour. Todd Rundgren, Utopia, $5, November 21st, 1974. This was a 3-hour show. Utopia was the only band that evening. It was also at the Fox Theater. James Montgomery Band, Trapeze, Kiss, Black Oak, Arkansas, $5.50. November 23rd, 1974, Alexander Memorial Coliseum. This was a rare evening. The concert started at 8:30, which was kind of late for a 4-group rock concert. It lasted for a while. Souther Hillman, Furay Band, Hudson and Ford, Manfred Mann's Earth Band, $5.50. November 27th, 1974. This was at the Fox Theater. The acoustics are awesome at the Fox Theater, and this was also a midnight concert. Ravi Shankar, Billy Preston, George Harrison, 850, November 28th, 1974, Omni Sports Arena. This was my second concert in 24 hours. 1975 concerts. American Tears, Alvin Lee, $5.50, January 6, 1975. Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. Alvin Lee was on a solo tour without 10 years after. I was in front of the stage for this concert. Carmen, Jethro Tull, $5.50, January 20th, 1975. Omni Sports Arena. This was Jethro Tull's Thick as a Brick concert. James Mason Band, Humble Pie, February 19th, 1975, Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. This was Humble Pie's last appearance in Atlanta. Montrose, who was supposed to play with Humble Pie, broke up 2 days before the concert. Now, at this concert, there was a young woman that was sitting beside me, and she got the bright idea to stand up on the chair handles of her seat to cheer on the band. This was a mistake for her. As she was getting down, she slipped, and her leg became stuck in between the folded up chair seat and the back of the chair. Eventually, a maintenance man had to come while Humble Pie was playing and disassemble the chair to free her leg. Some people, who knows, they don't do smart things sometimes. Mahogany Rush, Kansas, Queen, $6, March 12th, 1975, Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. I actually bought a floor seat ticket for this concert, and I had never done that before, and I was going to proudly present it to the usher, but the usher turned out to be a friend of my mother's, and he didn't look at the ticket. He said, just go on in. I don't care what ticket you have. I was kind of disappointed about not showing the ticket. I was at the front of the stage for this show, and Queen used a lot of fog, and there was so much fog in use that I could not see the person that was standing next to me. This was a very awesome concert. I believe this was Queen's Sheer Heart Attack tour. Susie Quattro, Alice Cooper, April 13th, 1975, Omni Sports Arena. This was Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare tour, and it was a very good show. And this was his first tour without his original band. Chango, Golden Earring, Robin Trower, 450, May 15th, 1975, Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. Pink Floyd, $8, June 7th, 1975, Fulton County Stadium. This was their Dark Side of the Moon tour, and of course it was outside. It had rained heavily all day long. I almost did not go for two reasons. Someone stole the battery out of my car, and the other reason was due to the weather. I decided to go. I replaced the battery and went to the show. There was this distorted thing floating above the stage. It was, it was a weird shape. I couldn't figure out what it was, but I had a friend who was a stagehand, and the next time I saw him, he told me it was supposed to be a pyramid, but it got all distorted due to the rain. The music and the show was fantastic. Hydra, Charlie Daniels Band, Leonard Skinner, July 5th, 1975, Omni Sports Arena. I was there with a few friends from high school. The police were everywhere at this concert, and I could see them making arrests for some offenses. My friend got up to go to the bathroom, and he never returned. And I found out later in school that the police had arrested him for marijuana use, and he told me that they were actually looking for him. They saw him, and they waited for him, and they arrested him. Wasn't a good day for him. I do not remember the outcome of his trial. Gary Wright Band, 10 years after, $5.50, July 23rd, 1975, Old Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. This was 10 years after Farewell Tour. 10 years after, broke up after this tour. I was sad about that. 10 years after was my favorite band. The Meters, Rolling Stones with Billy Preston, $9.50, July 30th, 1975, Omni Sports Arena. This was the Rolling Stones tour of the Americas 1975 tour. The show was awesome. I'm really glad I was able to see the Rolling Stones at least once. Uriah Heep, Blue Oyster Cult, $6.50, September 26, 1975, Omni Sports Arena. This was Blue Oyster Cult's Secret Treaties Tour. Toots and the Maytals, The Who, $7.50, November 24th, 1975, Omni Sports Arena. This concert had a laser light show, but it's nothing compared to the laser light shows that take place today. It was very innovative for its time. Ted Nugent, Aerosmith, $7.50, November 28th, 1975, Omni Sports Arena. Rush, Leslie West, Styx, Kiss, $6.50, December 5th, 1975, Omni Sports Arena. This was Kiss's Dress to Kill tour. And that concludes the concerts that I saw in 1974 and 1975. I hope you enjoyed this video. I still have a couple of years left. I will make that video eventually. Thank you for listening. See you later.